Hello and welcome. My name is Thomas and I'm the founder of Reduce CO2 Now. So, what is this whole project about and how does it work? This is about this video. So, first of all, welcome again. And the thing is, we want to do something against climate change. Our motto is we turn climate change around, and we means everybody. Yeah, so it's not like somebody has to do something or like politics are going to solve the issue. No, it's about we doing and turning climate change around. So, and how this is done? Well, there are maybe other organizations, in this area who are like saying, they have to do something or they try to raise awareness and things like this. What makes us different is several things. First of all, we are working on solutions which work on a global scale. Because if you go to our website, reduceco2now.com, you see that we were talking about climate change, but the last like 20 to 30 years, nothing really happened. The trend of CO2 more and more and so on, unchanged. So everything what has been done really in the last 20 to 30 years didn't work at all because the trend of more CO2 production all the time is still there. So something has to happen that we go to this with a totally different approach. And that's what we're doing. We're using a systems-based engineering approach. So it's called system technology. You just look at the whole world as a system, and that's what we are doing. And then you can start developing solutions to influence such system. And another thing is that our organization is an organization of volunteers. We want to have people who are really engaged, who really want to work on this thing. And that means nobody's getting paid. That's like one part of our organization. We don't pay salaries. So that's why everybody who's working on contributing to this project is a volunteer. That gives us a very big competitive edge because we get software developers, game developers, graphic designers, social media people on board, and we don't have to pay them. So we don't have to run behind investors and work for money. Okay, so that's like some of the basics and what we are doing differently. So I try to write this down on this. Really, you see, I'm a really graphic person. So the basic of the whole thing is social media. We want to, our main thing is we want to raise awareness around the world for climate change and our solutions by doing this on social media. Why? Because everybody uses social media. Social media is available, it's for free, so everybody can contribute. We just have to make it as big enough and bring out the same message. By the way, one of our foundations is that everything is science-based. It's factual, science-based. We are not like a Telegram channel and doing stuff like this. No, all the things we come up with are science-based. They come from papers, from research, from science and so on. So it's very factual-based and not like, something is happening. No, we are very much science-based. So, social media. And we want to have their social media people on board who really know what they are doing because we want to influence the whole world and work together with influencers and so on and grow and grow and grow. So, social media is one of the cores. What we're also going to do is we do application development. So we have software development. So, which is also, it's sort of alerting for the social media content. It's also one social media channel is an application, but the application is also going to give value, so it's a very important thing, our app development. And then also another social media channel you could say is computer games or online games. And so we are working on game production. So we are developing games because games is usually interactive, it's fun, it's with music and graphics and stuff like this. So it's one way to get people on board. And our games, because we have really low costs to produce these games, we are going to give them for free and market them. And by the way, everything is open source because we have some values and so on. So go to our Reddit page. Reddit is one of our main pages. There you find the mission statement, vision, and so on. Yeah? So that's our core thing is that we use social media. So we need all kinds of people who work on social media, who work with others, who produce on social media and so on. And we have a very fantastic way to produce a lot of content in a streamlined form very, very effectively. So, and that's why we have like a content team which takes care of content, which is basically like text and graphics. And then we have like, here we have a graphics team who are doing graphics. You know, the content team can take graphics, for example, from sites or from website and say, hey, that's like a very nice graphic. We're using this, for example, to bring over some data. Or we are like having graphic designers on board who are doing nice graphics to, you know, interact, and we use all these approaches. So we have a content team basically focused on writing, a graphics team focused on producing graphics, and then also produce videos and make like really content. It's very simple nowadays. You just take something like Canva and you put your stuff in, and you can create a really nice video without being a big video editor, putting some music in and uploading it really soon without much effort. No? So that's all possible with modern technology, to use these tools to produce good things on social media. No? Good. So that's like one area, and we are doing this, and this is now one very important thing. What we are doing differently, we do this in all kinds of languages. We want to reach at least 99% of the world population with their native language. So that's why we have already a network from 14 to 15 languages of like Kiswahili, Ibu, Hausa, Hindi, Bengali, Arabic, and, you know, of course, English and Spanish and French and these languages, and German as well. So there's like a whole list of things, and we are like, you know, using social media in these languages to address the people. So we want to speak to the people in the world, you know, and for this we have social media managers who are taking care that the message which goes out to their network is good, and that the language which is used and the quality is okay. So that's like the job of a social media manager. And then like we are working on solutions, because the baseline for everything is really inform people about climate change. I'm studying business psychology here in the Hochschule Neu-Ulm, and most people have no clue of climate change. Even people in the industry, you ask them some questions about like basic figures of climate change. So, for example, how much CO2 is in the air? How much is the rate of change? How much CO2 is produced by the world, and so on. So you ask some really basic questions and nobody knows, you know, because that's like, and if you don't like understand some data points, you know, it's really hard to believe what's going to happen. How much temperature we are going to have at the end of the century, or in 100 years or 200. Does it mean what we have done already to the climate? And, you know, if you're just like hearing, oh yeah, they're talking about 1.5, no, that's, you know, that's like just what the average population is. And we are going to do and informing the people really how severe the whole thing is. And it's much more severe than you think. And so that's why we are looking at solutions, but solutions which have to work on a global scale. And the first thing is, you know, if you would drive electric cars and then there's less fuel used or demand, so the price goes down and then the demand goes up again. So that would happen in a market situation. So one of the things what we have to do in the market is to increase the fossil fuel prices. You know, we don't want to like develop the whole world newly. No, we just use the world like it is. It's a market economy, basically, in the world, globalized and so on. And we just use some things where we introduce something in the system that the fuel prices go up. And we call this a fossil fuel storage fund. And we are maybe doing more of these kind of solutions. But it's like an investment fund to increase the prices of fossil fuel in the long run. Because that's like what we want to achieve, you know, increase prices of fossil fuel and make the other stuff, green energy, more attractive. Then the same thing is we have to take the CO2 back out of the atmosphere. And this is like carbon capture and storage. And there we're working on solutions where really carbon burial. So you are like taking carbon, biomass, and you put it back in the ground. It's basically like reversing the process. For hundreds of years now, we have been taking black stuff from the ground and burning it. And then now we have to take like the gas, green stuff, which is like nature, and put it back into the ground. It's like reversing the process. And then a very big, especially because of reforestation and cutting down trees all over the world, is been done for food. So food and diet is a whole section we are working on, and the thing is about a CO2 diet. So that's like how our project works, and how we get people on board is that you actually come on board and join our teams and start working. Our application process is really, really simple. We just like screen you, and then we invite you to join the project and actually start working. And then we will see, you will see if you like the project, and we will see if that what you're doing is what we need. And that's basically how it works. You come on board, we invite you to come on board and say, hey, join our team, start working, start contributing, and then we see how that works. That's basically it. Thank you very much for watching, and please follow the channel. We turn climate change around.